Hey there, my name's Linda and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So if you're anything like me, you've probably spent the last year or so doing classes online via Zoom. So if you're really exhausted from spending too many hours on your computer via Zoom, then you're definitely not alone. But before you rip your hair out or throw your laptop across the room, wait. Because today I'm going to be discussing some solutions to Zoom fatigue so you can prevent exhaustion and burnout and succeed in your courses. So let's get into today's topic, preventing Zoom fatigue. I'm going to be discussing some factors that lead to Zoom fatigue and some solutions to combat them. So the first factor that leads to Zoom fatigue is constantly seeing yourself over camera. And this is because it's quite unnatural to constantly be looking at ourselves when we're talking to other people. It's sort of like someone is holding up a mirror to us and we're constantly evaluating ourselves during our interactions. And of course, this has a negative effect on our emotional well-being. In fact, when we do a video call, we're more likely to spend time looking at ourselves compared to looking at the person who's talking. Luckily, there's a simple solution via the Zoom platform where we can hide our own SelfView. We can do this by clicking on our own photo on the three dots to display the menu and then clicking the Hide SelfView option. This will allow other people to see you, but you won't be able to see yourself during the Zoom call. You might be feeling some Zoom fatigue because being over Zoom reduces our usual mobility. So in interactions that are in person or over the phone, we generally have the ability to move or walk around. However, with video conferencing like Zoom, we generally have to stay in the same place for a long period of time. You might also be missing the time in between your classes where you rush from one class to the other, or maybe you're like me and you are constantly running after the bus in the mornings to avoid being late. Of course, now with Zoom, we simply have to click a few buttons and we're on to our next class. So the solution to this is to take breaks often. And when you take the breaks, make sure you move or walk around or do some stretches. There's research that shows that when people are moving, they perform better cognitively. So take breaks. So another factor that may lead to Zoom fatigue is limited nonverbal cues in interactions. And this means that our brains have to work even harder to interpret what other people are saying. So we also have to pay attention to being within the frame of the video so people can see the gestures that we're using and understand what we're saying. We might also have to use exaggerated gestures such as nodding our head and putting our thumbs up. So the solution to this is also to turn your video off, but also face away from the camera so you don't get overwhelmed by all the gestures that people are using in the Zoom call. So lastly, we may also be experiencing Zoom fatigue because although we're in a classroom setting, we have limited opportunities to have social interactions with our classmates. In a real classroom, we'd often have a chance to talk with our classmates, share notes, and ask them what the professor had said in real time. However, in Zoom classes, often the professor is the only one who communicates with the class, and there's limited opportunities to develop friendships with your classmates. So although there's no specific solution to these problems, there are some options for more social interaction using the Zoom platform. For example, there's a Zoom chat you can use to talk with specific classmates or with the whole class. Of course, you don't want to use this too much because it might distract you from actually learning the course materials. If your professor allows you to work in breakout rooms and do small group discussions, you can also use this as an opportunity to get to know your classmates a little bit more and possibly develop friendships outside of class time. Alright, so there you have it. There's a lot of factors that lead to Zoom fatigue. However, there's also a lot of solutions to combat these issues. So I hope you found this video helpful in terms of your online learning this semester. So please let me know in the comments down below if you have any other tips for reducing Zoom fatigue during online learning. So thank you so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye!